rape accusations, death threats,
use deadly force,
sexual misdeeds.
Mom on a regular basis.
This is the story of Isom. No, not the International School of Ministry, but the comic by Eric July. Tonight, on Sifting Through the Trash, with your host, JJ Trujillo. Last time, you witnessed the first battle of the comics war, as Ethan decided to go nuclear on Yellow Flash and Eric July. Now Ethan will find an unexpected friend, a co-worker of Eric, who inadvertently arms Eric's enemies with their greatest symbol. Tonight, on Sifting Through the Trash. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Previously, on Sifting Through the Trash, Ethan Van Sciver says that Isom's story needed work.
I think a lot of those notes were accurate. I read it. I might be the only one here who actually read the book when I got it. Why didn't anybody read this?
Eric wasn't happy.
You know, I heard you talking, Ethan, about this whole like this guy in his review or criticism was excellent. That's bullshit. We read through it ourselves. It's not excellent. It was literal lies built within it. There's one thing to be critical of something, and I'm perfectly fine with that. You've never seen me jump down anybody's throat for saying, "Hey,
well, what you're saying,
for example, hold on." So,
after receiving a threatening message, Ethan is afraid of an ensuing conflict and of how Ripa may use his audience against him. On the other hand, there were many internet spectators who didn't have any dogs in this fight. Internet spectators who thirsted for the momentous views and clicks that can only be garnered by internet blood sports. Tonight we will meet a new player who is singularly responsible for giving Ethan his greatest rallying cry against Eric. Enter Alex Stein, former reality TV show participant, turned troll, and now talk show host with The Blaze. Alex made many videos which have gone viral. Among them is this video of him trying on a transgender swimsuit, meant to tuck in men's genitalia. Alex later donned a women's swimsuit at a city council meeting and an Antifa rally. Those viral moments were considered to be humorous amongst many on the right, but others found them controversial.
Jesse, we got some people in the chat mentioning Alex Stein, so I'm gonna put you and Brittany head to head here. For and against Alex Stein. I don't really know the guy, but he seems pretty gay from everything I've seen.
whoa.
He seems like he's doing a lot of unironic gay shit.
But Alex was no stranger to controversy, especially when it was centered around his fellow Blaze employee, Eric July. He invited one of Eric's most ardent critics, Vito, and asked him to explain his beef with Eric.
What the heck? You're fighting with Eric July all the time. That's racist, Vito. You're racist. You can't fight with a black man. Apologize right now and give us reparations.
Yeah.
Eric July thinks that Miles Morales, the Black Spider-Man, is a token character. It's because Eric July probably didn't pass 10th grade and has the IQ of a moron.
Eric July's not a moron. I want to put that. He's very smart.
He is. Yeah, Unfortunately, Eric July put out this comic book that has
very successful, multi-millions.
A lot of people bought into the idea that, if I buy a comic, I can own the libs, and unfortunately ended up with one of the worst superhero comics that's ever been published. I really feel bad for the people who have fallen for his grift, and I won't have
Eric July rules. Let's get that. All right.
Brought him up.
Bye. I know, because he's a friend of mine, a coworker. I love the guy. I'm trying to defend him, Vito.
You're friends with a moron. It's cool.
No, he's not. Vito, you tweeted that you like cuties 20 times. You are objectively less smart. I love you, though.
Seen it.
I love you.
Love it.
I love you.
All right.
I'm about to give a guy transgender reassignment surgery, so if you want to watch, I'll mail you part of his scrotal sac.
He also tried to get others, like Nerdrotic, involved.
I'm sure you know all about the Rippaverse drama, and I love Eric July, but recently I was dragged into it because I stormed Barstool Sports. I don't know if you know this legendary interaction where I remember. And I stormed Barstool Sports. I had my wife's boyfriend, and his breasts were exposed on there, his dairy errors everywhere. And then
lovely.
Vito, who's arch nemesis number one, Dick Masterson's, little buddy, shares this clip and says, Alex Stein, Eric, you're just as bad because you're friends with Alex Stein. My point is, I love Eric. Why am I catching strays in this somehow? Because somebody went to Eric's warehouse. Like, how do I fit in all this, Gary?
Soon he would make the biggest move against Eric and be solely responsible for crafting the symbol of Eric's detractors. First, let's see how he responded to his own controversies. Early in 2023, Alex invited Brittany Venti on his show. After she was banned from Twitter, Brittany, on multiple occasions, has asked very hard-hitting questions. Disregarding perceived friendships with other internet personalities. One of the best known instances of this comes from an episode of Simpcast, which featured former Blaze employee Elijah Schaefer. Let's take a look at Brittany's gutsy question to Elijah.
Would you ever work for another network?
Never again. I'll never be an employee
Never?
again. Never.
Damn.
I actually have a question about that. So with Blaze, I saw there's an article saying that you groped Sarah Gonzalez's boobs. I kind of wanted to know if that was true or not.
Broke them?
I broke them.
Groped them, like
Yeah,
touched them.
snapped in
Touched them
half?
during a movie
I thought
premiere.
you said broke. I was like, what?
Yeah,
didn't break a
then
boob.
break them.
I wish I could spend more hours ranting about Elijah's story, but that isn't the subject of this video, or even this channel. But if you'd like to see Elijah's shocking response to Brittany, watch this insane video which hasn't been released to the public yet, and can only be accessed by an exclusive link at the end of tonight's episode. As Alex's profile grew, so too of course did the voice of his naysayers. One such individual, Pot Awful, has made videos about Alex, saying it was degenerate for him to wear a woman's swimsuit in a lake in front of children.
You were about to like jump off the Twitter space and I bullied my way onto it, like desperately trying to bait you into something, basically, where I said like, hey, thanks so much for bringing up that thing about the Canadian teacher. I 100% agree. At a certain point, you're crossing the line of satire. And you were like, yeah, exactly. You know, just thinking about the thing you were talking about. And then I immediately shifted it over to Alex Stein. And I said, you know, like when Alex Stein is in that lake around all the little Mexican kids and he's wearing a bikini in front of them as if like that's crossing the line of satire. He wants to say that drag queens are bad. So what does he do? He dresses in drag in front of children. It's like
Owned libtards.
yeah. And so
That's
now you might not agree with that. You technically did agree with me in the Twitter space, but I was tricking you into it. But you actually replied and said, yeah, I see what you're saying, I think was what you responded with. But you said that it was at a certain point you're crossing the line of satire. I saw this video Alex put out where he's got his dingling basically hanging out in a woman's bathing suit and he's swimming in a lake full of kids. And when I saw that, I went, this isn't owning the libs. This is not fighting against drag queen story hour. This is drag queen story hour. If you're dressing like that in front of a child, you have crossed the line of satire. So I did bait you into that, Brittany, but that was what happened. And that's the other thing that like has sort of soured me with Alex is he keeps doing shit like that. And at a certain point, when you keep showing up in front of children with your schmeckle tucked between your legs, you are a drag queen. And I agree with the premise that drag queens in front of kids are bad. Thus, I think Alex Stein is up to no good.
Pot Awful refers to it as a bikini, but it was a one-piece swimsuit. He also references his genitalia being visible beneath his clothes. I don't really see that, do you? Alex initially agreed to debate Pot Awful, but later backed out. Brittany asked him why on Simpcast, and he got upset and eventually rage quit.
You're gonna be flaky. I'd just rather get the real, honest, flaky reason than you suddenly making up an illness a half hour before the show starts. It's like, no, you would have had to leave your hotel like way earlier.
Wait, I have a question in regard to that because I was on with my friend James yesterday, and Jesse from Pot Awful came on, and I was asking him like, why does he not like you?
Who?
And he had met Jesse from Pot Awful, and he said it was because it
I
started.
don't know who that is.
When he invited you on, and then you canceled 5 minutes before because you said you were worried about him trolling you. So I wanted to know, like, what was up with that? Like, how do we get it?
Are you a Pot Awful stan? Are you a Pot Awful stan, Britt?
I was
Maybe
curious
Frank
about it
can
because he asked me
confirm.
to host to like have you guys like talk it out. You cannot like someone's content and
Wait,
still like
Andy, are
hash
you
it out
talking about
though. No,
Britt,
Alex,
Britt,
I just heard this yesterday.
You want me and Jesse to become buds? I don't want to be friends with Jesse. I have no beef with Jesse. I appreciate him making content about me. I would appreciate anybody that spends that much time watching my content. He literally says he watches every single video. So he's unironically a fan. He's
We're not
no.
here to
I'd
talk
like
about
to talk
somebody
this
I've
out
never heard
because
of.
he's going to clip this. He's going to talk this. And Brittany's energy's been weird all night. I thought we were kind of friendly, Brittany. Like, you're coming on my show. You know, I thought we were friends.
Okay.
She's buddies with Pod Awful now. I thought Brittany and I were a little tight, but you're trying to find out about this. Like, his whole listen, Christian, I don't mind talking about this, but
He
his
really
whole thing is gonna be
defended
clipping
you,
this.
right? Like yesterday when we talked on stream. and
I didn't
you-
watch. I have no idea. I didn't watch the stream. I have
look
no
at that
idea. You
assumption
just
you
said
made
you're on
of
it.
me asking one question, and then you're like, "Oh, you must hate." It's like I backed you up. I was like, "Yeah, I don't agree with the swimsuit thing, but he's been nice, and I think he has good intentions." Like I actually spoke well.
Wait,
of
you don't
so.
agree with me putting on a woman's swimsuit?
No, I don't think you can ironically suck dick, and I stand by that. I'm consistent. I try to be fair.
So I'm transsexual. Is that what you're saying? I agree. I think I am.
No, I'm
trans.
saying you can't ironically like show your ass to children.
I'm talking about in Austin, for Barton Springs. So you're telling me, so you think that that's bad that I wore that at Barton Springs? And when I wear that outfit, everybody says it's so bad. If you go look at Andre the Giant, you look at a wrestling singlet, we're allowed to watch wrestlers wear literal, basically thongs, hanky-panky. So me in a one-piece bikini, I'm more covered than what you can see on Channel 5, NBC News. So for you to try to act like it's like the biggest deal, I'm trying to make a political point. I'm trying to push boundaries. I'm trying to take risks, and I get criticism from people that would never go outside and never take one of the risks that I take. So it's just funny how you're like, you know, I guess judging me, but I don't judge you, Brittany, and I'm sure you're perfect, and I'm sure, you know, everything you've ever done is great. There's just some people you don't hash it out with, and then you kept bringing up stuff. So I get it. You're so awesome, Britt. You're so badass. You're so cool. You know, you love to just bring up, you know, drama on the internet, and I get it. And I hope this gets clicks, and I hope this gets likes. I mean, like I said, I don't care about that. I want to actually, you know, create more content. But it's just, we're just, you know, I can tell your vibes. I'm all about, you know, high vibrational energy.
Really far into things.
You have love
like
life.
I've
read into it enough. I've read into it enough. Yeah, I know. I see you eating your food. I can tell you're eating your food. Okay.
Thank you, Mark, for the super chat. Holy crap,
peace.
mommy and daddy are fighting. Alex is.
Alex said he felt betrayed by Brittany, thinking they were close friends. Brittany said she was just trying to find the truth. Alex felt a friend wouldn't ask hard-hitting questions on screen, despite the fact that's one of the main gigs on his show. Alex pulls one of his biggest stunts yet, inviting both Eric and Ethan privately to talk about their own comic books, though secretly he was really conspiring to bring them both to an internet death match. Both Eric and Ethan were cornered into a debate.
I was on the Jack Show on Thursday. Alex Stein was on there, and Alex was like, "Ethan!" And he was really excited to see me. He's like, "Ethan!" He's like, "What is this drama with Eric July?" I think Alex knows that. I think he thinks that Eric July is a grifter. That's my opinion. That's what I think. Because I know that he's interested in this drama, and I get the feeling that he really kind of does, you know, want to get into it a little bit. But that's not why I talk to him. You know, he's just like so excited. He's asking me about it, asking me about Yellow Flash. I talked to him a little bit, and I was kind of like, "Hey, man, it's been a while since I've been on your show. Schedule me to be on your show." Now, when I say that, when I say, "Let me be on your show," there's a reason for that. I want to just riff with him. It's not about Eric July. Like, Eric July isn't something I think about. I think about my campaigns. I'm sitting there thinking we can have fun, we can joke, and then wait, hold on a second. And then, like, you know, I can promote Rainbow the Brute, right? Like, that's the entire purpose of me going on the Alex Stein show. I want to fool with him. He's kind of like, Alex Stein is like Howard Stern in this arena a little bit. So that's what I'm expecting. He said, "How about Tuesday?" Tuesday, like that soon? Like, are you kidding? Like, I was expecting him to say, "Sure, like, how's March look for you?" or something like that. He said Tuesday. I said, "Sure, okay, Tuesday. Let's do it Tuesday." And I put it on my calendar. His producer contacted me and just said, "We're excited about having you on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time," or 7:10, I think he said. So I went and I took a nice nap, like 4 o'clock. I was like, I'm going to get a little nap so I'm bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready for the Alex Stein show. And I wake up around 6 and I'm looking at Twitter and I see the craziest shit. Alex Stein, and I guess his producer, sandbagged me, from my perspective, sandbagged me with this. Look at this. Tonight's going to be absolutely wild when the bad boys of Comicsgate finally clash on the blimp. Eric D. July, look at this. He untagged himself. Ah! He doesn't want any notifications. He untagged himself. Versus Ethan Van Sciver, 7 p.m. Eastern. Watch the battle right here. I had no idea. I had no idea what was going on here. But it was incredibly exciting. So I went up and I told my wife, I said, for some reason, I think Alex Stein, I took it a little personally. I was a little bit I didn't take it personally, but I was a little bit like, I feel like, technically speaking, I'm being sandbagged here because I didn't agree to this.
Eric was notified a little bit beforehand and warned about difficult topics.
Topics. It says guest interview topics. Again, this is irrefutable and this stuff is out there. Now, I'm going to read you some of this. Now, did the other guests get this? Don't really know if that communication happened. I can't confirm, but I'm going to read you what it says. Issues with ISOM #1 comic, use of 3D models, tracing them to make artwork, potentially rushed out, creating subpar product, amateur, poor layout of the comic, vague, writing, poor storyline, other drama, Eric's critique of crowdfunding, drama between Yellow Flash and Dillard about not paying advance, 40% ownership, questions for the other guests, thoughts on new panels, the quality improving, primary beef with Eric, will this permanently divide Comicsgate community?
Ethan, on the other hand, had zero warning. Despite being sandbagged, Ethan was energized for the debate, only to learn moments prior that the debate was cancelled. In the past, Eric July would debate his haters, calling these segments monetized your haters. After debating Dick Masterson, Ethan asked Eric if he would continue this practice. Eric implied he would, but never debated anyone about his comic again.
But you know what? The thing about you is that you're just like, monetize my haters. I'm going to go in on all of these people. Are you going to continue to do that all the time?
I can't go on everybody, but look, man, if a hater's going to hate, I'd rather them not do it for free.
In fact, there is even evidence that Eric now may require people who interview him to censor their chats. Eric came for an interview with A Drink with Crazy on his show Iron Age Nights. Before Eric's interview, his employee, who is on the Iron Age messaging server, asked the YouTube moderators to look out for bunny emojis, implying that they should be censored. It is possible that his employee was acting on her own accord, but she may have also received guidance from Eric. After Eric cancelled his debate with Alex, things only got worse. Many former fans rallied against him and chose the chicken as their new symbol, and soon the chicken would become their weapon. This was the beginning of the Great Chicken Apocalypse. While Alex tried to ease the damage by offering an apology and punishing his producer, the damage had already been done. Next time, Eric July clarifies why he doesn't like Alex Stein's show. Don't miss the Wacky Minstrel Show.